Greetings, universe investigators. We're back on Investigating the Universe with another thrilling exploration into the cosmos of knowledge. Today we're going to delve into an intriguing subject that is the very essence of life as we know it. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the language of life, the master blueprint that governs the development and functioning of all living organisms. It's a complex molecule that carries the genetic instructions used in the growth, development, functioning and reproduction of all known living organisms and many viruses. In essence, DNA is the script that tells the cells in our body what to do and when to do it. It's the reason why our eyes are the color they are, why some of us are taller or shorter than others, and why we resemble our parents. So, buckle up for a journey into the microscopic world of DNA and genetics. It's going to be an insightful and exciting ride, so stay tuned. Before we delve into the mysteries of DNA, it's essential to understand what it is. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is a molecule that carries the genetic instructions used in the growth, development, functioning and reproduction of all known living organisms and many viruses. Now imagine DNA as a twisted ladder, or a double helix. The sides of the ladder are made up of sugar and phosphate molecules. These molecules form the backbone of DNA. The rungs, or steps in the middle, are made up of pairs of 4 types of molecules called nucleotides: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. These nucleotides always pair up in the same way: adenine with thymine and guanine with cytosine. This pairing is crucial because it allows DNA to replicate or make copies of itself, which is how genetic information is passed on from generation to generation. Inside every cell, DNA is tightly packed into structures called chromosomes. Humans typically have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Each chromosome carries hundreds to thousands of genes. Genes are sections of DNA that carry the instructions for making proteins, the building blocks of our bodies. Each gene holds the instructions for a specific trait or characteristic. For example, one gene might hold the blueprint for the color of your eyes, while another might determine the shape of your ears. But DNA isn't just about physical traits. It also influences our susceptibility to certain diseases, our response to different types of medication, and even aspects of our behavior. DNA, in essence, is the building block of life, holding the instructions for every characteristic we possess. It's an intricate dance of molecules, dictating the rhythm of life. From the color of our eyes to the shape of our ears, from our susceptibility to disease to our response to medication, and even to aspects of our behavior, all these are choreographed by this small, seemingly insignificant molecule. And yet, this molecule holds the secret to life itself. Now that we know what DNA is, the next question arises: how does this genetic information replicate? Well, the process of DNA replication is a fascinating dance of precision and accuracy. It's like a molecular ballet, where each dancer has a crucial role to play. So let's dive in and see what happens. Firstly, an enzyme called helicase enters the scene. Just like a skilled dancer, helicase gracefully spins and unwinds the DNA double helix, separating the 2 strands of DNA. This creates a replication fork, a Y-shaped structure that serves as the stage for the rest of our molecular ballet. Next, another enzyme, DNA polymerase, steps in. DNA polymerase is like the choreographer of this ballet, guiding the formation of the new DNA strands. It adds nucleotides, the building blocks of DNA, to each of the separated strands. As it moves along, it ensures that each incoming nucleotide correctly pairs with its counterpart on the original strand. But DNA polymerase can only add nucleotides in one direction. So on one strand, known as the leading strand, nucleotides are added continuously. But on the other strand, the lagging strand, nucleotides are added in fragments. These fragments, known as Okazaki fragments, are later joined together by yet another enzyme, DNA ligase. This intricate dance of enzymes continues until 2 identical DNA molecules are formed from the original one. Each new DNA molecule consists of one original strand and one newly synthesized strand. This type of replication is termed semi-conservative because each new DNA molecule conserves one of the original strands. This process of DNA replication is not just a dance of molecules, it's a dance of life itself. Each step, each move, each twirl of an enzyme is vital for life as we know it. It's through this exacting and beautiful process that life's genetic information is passed down from generation to generation. This precise replication process ensures the continuation of life from one generation to the next. Now, let's move from replication to the role of DNA in genetics. Just like the most complex computer code, DNA provides the blueprint for every living organism. It's a set of instructions that dictates how organisms develop, grow, and function. But how does DNA achieve this? The answer lies in genes. Genes are specific segments of DNA that carry the instructions for creating proteins, the workhorses of the body. From building tissues to fighting off diseases, proteins have a role in almost everything our bodies do. So you may wonder, how do these genes determine our traits? Well, each gene holds the recipe for a unique protein. When a protein gets made, it can create a domino effect in the body. For instance, one protein might influence the color of your eyes, while another might dictate the curliness of your hair. But it's not as simple as one gene, one trait. Most traits are influenced by multiple genes, and these genes can interact in complex ways. For example, your height isn't determined by a single gene, but rather by many genes working together. On top of this, genes can be dominant or recessive, meaning they can overrule or be overruled by other genes. This is why you might have your mother's eye color, but your father's nose shape. Moreover, genes can also be influenced by the environment. For instance, your genes may predispose you to be tall, but if you don't get enough nutrition during your growing years, you may not reach your full potential height. So, in the grand dance of life, DNA is the choreographer, genes are the dancers, and proteins are the dance moves. Each step, each twirl, each leap is predetermined by the instructions coded in your DNA. In short, your DNA is a unique code that makes you, you. Unfortunately, sometimes things can go wrong in this genetic code. Our DNA, the blueprint of life, can have errors known as mutations. These mutations can change an organism's physical characteristics or even cause genetic disorders. This fascinating yet complex world of genetics is like a dance, where a single misstep can lead to a cascade of problems. Genetic disorders are conditions that occur due to changes or mutations in the DNA sequence. These mutations can alter the function of the genes involved, leading to a wide range of health problems. Such disorders can be inherited from parents or acquired due to environmental factors or errors in DNA replication. Let's take a look at a few examples to better understand this. One common genetic disorder is Down syndrome. This condition occurs when an individual has an extra copy of chromosome 21. This additional genetic material disrupts the typical development, leading to the characteristic features of Down syndrome. Cystic fibrosis is another example. This disorder is caused by a mutation in the gene responsible for producing a protein that controls the movement of salt in and out of cells. The mutation causes a buildup of thick mucus in the lungs and other organs, leading to a host of respiratory and digestive problems. Huntington's disease is a more devastating example of a genetic disorder. It's caused by a mutation in a single gene, and it's a condition that progressively worsens over time, affecting an individual's mental and physical abilities. These are just a few examples of the myriad of genetic disorders that can occur due to mutations in our DNA. It's important to note that while some individuals may carry a gene for a particular disorder, it doesn't necessarily mean they will develop the condition. Genetics is a complex field, and many factors can influence how our genes express themselves. Though these genetic disorders can be challenging, research and technology are continually advancing to help manage and even cure some of these conditions. As we wrap up our journey into the world of DNA and genetics, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We began by delving into the heart of the cell, where the spiraling strands of DNA reside. We explored its intricate structure, the double helix, a masterpiece of nature's engineering. From there, we witnessed the marvel of DNA replication, a process crucial to life as we know it. We watched as the genetic code was copied with precision, ensuring the continuity of life's blueprint. We then ventured into the realm of genetics, understanding how traits are passed down through generations and how DNA plays a pivotal role in this. Finally, we confronted the harsh realities of genetic disorders, shedding light on how even slight mutations can have profound effects. Thanks for joining us on this genetic journey. Remember, there's always more to explore when you're investigating the universe. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our video. Until next time, keep investigating.